First of all, let me tell you this. I'm done with season 5. Originally, I was not even going to make a video about season 5 because, you know, to be honest, it was cool. It was nothing crazy, nothing too much going on. It was a setup. Who wrote this? Now, I knew going to season 5, it's not going to be like season 4 where every episode something insane is happening. But it was pretty good regardless, right? Season 5 was holding its own. Did I mention spoilers? And yeah, you gotta stand up when you talk about Snowfall season 5 because what's about to happen in season 6, I have to get my thoughts out first. Season 5, you know, starts off good. You know, we get a little time skip. I don't really know the exact date. What you need to know is Franklin got a girlfriend and now she's pregnant and now Rob is dead. Just like that. Rob is dead. Peaches. Ooh. It's you! The only dude I thought I could trust, the only one, was Peaches. What happened? He betrayed them. Now, we have not seen Peaches yet. Presumably, he's going to be in season 6, obviously, right? It makes sense. You know, Franklin's mother is trying to figure out, like, okay, how can I get to Teddy McDonald? She gets like I forgot what it was. Like this Spanish dude, but then he's Russian. I don't know. He's in some kind of agency. She's trying to kill Teddy. Obviously, you know, he killed her husband. Now, what I thought was going to happen is Franklin's going to find out that his mom is on Teddy's case and he's going to feel like she's betraying him. She's doing more problems, but instead, that's not how it played out, bro. The way it played out was so beautiful. This dude, Teddy, has been going through a lot. First of all, he gets shot at by Kane, who is Kevin's brother from season 2. I like that storytelling because, you know, we kind of just didn't really get anybody retaliating for him because of his death, which I love to see that right now. This is really good storytelling. And Leon, the smartest character in the show. Who could have expected Leon to have the most rational, like, sense and everything after going through what he did from last season? The character development is on point. And you know why? Because, bro, I didn't even mention Buckley. Buckley, the weirdo, bro. I don't like Buckley. He's such a weird character, right? He's working for Louis. Now he's not really working for Louis. Then he goes to the project, does some weird stuff. Leon was ready to go to war. He goes to Abby. He's like, hey, give me your best weapons before he goes to war. I love the fact that Franklin's mom, she always goes to Leon and she gives him the advice he needs. I'm glad that Leon also acknowledges that. Now she goes over to Leon and she tells him, you can fight the system other ways without just being, you know, going to war and losing more people besides that. And then that kind of like flips Leon's switches. He starts reading books. He recommends books to Franklin. This man, Franklin, did not read. Probably the best character development in the entire show besides, I would say, Franklin. I mean, Franklin has developed into Aaron type of, you know, acts and everything, killing Rob, killing everybody else. And then, bro, the end of the season. I'm really making this video just because episode 8, 9, and 10 had me hooked. Remember what I said last? We rewrite them. I like the way Louis and Jerome have been acting together, have been kind of making rational decisions. That all went out the window. Leon does the most mature thing after finding out, hey, Peaches went over to Kane and basically ratted on everybody. It was like, okay, here's money. You can just shoot him up right there. Boom, boom, boom. Stuff happens, right? Leon goes over there and talks to him. Try to make things right. I love when he does that. However, Louis went behind his back, lied to Leon in his face, and basically said, yo, Buckley, this is the address for Kane. Go shoot him up. Obviously, Louis had to explain herself later on. She tells him, yo, I can't take your word. He can just pop up anywhere, which I understand, Louis. Louis, I get that. But doing this behind Leon's back made no sense. It just made no sense because now it's just going to cause more pain to you. And especially what happened after that. And I love the fact Leon went over to her and told her exactly what he needed to say. He said, hey, just be prepared for what's about to happen, and I'm gone. He did that. I love the fact that he didn't have to include himself in anything. He said, no, that's your problem now. I'm doing what I gotta do. It gets really tough because Kane got shot. He survived, which is pretty good. The Buckley guy, you know, he loses his job. I don't care about him whatsoever. I really don't. Yeah, I feel like Leon so far, if he keeps this up, he's probably gonna be my favorite character, like once all said and done. But I mean, Franklin right now has been cooking. We get the wedding for Louis and Jerome. Scully is there, which is cool. And then he just laces the entire strawberries, chocolate, whatever thing, and everybody's on drugs. And then we get the infamous bodies. This is like one of the most viral clips ever. I'm not going to act like I didn't see that again, but I didn't think it was going to be in season 5. I thought it was like a season 6 type of like ending or stuff like that, but it was so cool to see just like the way he was reflecting on himself. And I thought, okay, Franklin might be like, oh yeah, okay. He's going to go back to his old ways and be like, okay, he's going to be more understanding, if that makes sense, and not just kill everybody he sees. Because that's exactly what the old Franklin told him. Was like, that's how you help? Tiana Khadij, Franklin's girl. I can never pronounce her name. She tells him, you got to take care of the baby. That can't happen if I'm getting, you know, drive-by shots and everything. So he's like, you know, bro, I'm going to pull out the game. I'm done. Hold that thought. Now we go over to Teddy. He's, you know, been shot at, and then he yells at Franklin. He's like, no more security and everything. You know, they have a little fallout. Franklin decides, okay, I'm going to sit down with Teddy and tell him, hey, I'm done. That's it. Next morning, he wakes up, all his money's gone. Now, how does that make sense? My one problem with this season, in all those years where Franklin and his dad were plotting on the CIA and were like, okay, well, how can we figure out how to stop him and this, that, and the third? The second you went out of the game, you wouldn't think that, hey, maybe I should probably take all those accounts that he brought me in, that Teddy brought you in those banks in Panama. It was like, okay, let me actually take a little bit of money out and do that like in advance. What was that? I don't really feel like Franklin would be that stupid to just be like, hey, oh, I'm just done. And no other, safety precautions, everything, especially when he has a child on the way. I just thought that was a bit weird, but I get it. It sets up for an even beautiful story. And then he calls him on the phone. And I feel like, Avi basically gets shot at by the agent dude that, remember when Franklin's mom, when she brought him in, he gets killed, unfortunately. At the end, actually, I was rooting for him. At first, I was like, he was an asshole, but then he kind of developed into a more, not really understanding, but like we kind of get to see more of his life. And it was like, okay, makes sense. He kind of like Teddy a little bit, but then he just kind of chilled, and he's still crazy, but not Scully crazy, but you get what I mean. Hey, by the way, Parissa was like an agent, I think, in Iran. I guess Teddy loves her, and now she's held hostage by the agent guy. Anyway, quick summary. While that is going on, right, we got Franklin talking to Teddy. If you don't give me my money right now, I'm about to hunt everybody down. And then Teddy was like, I don't really care. And then that's going to be, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know who's going to die, what's about to happen. Gustavo is basically like, he found like a little, like the listening microphone in his vase, in his house and stuff like that. Gustavo's been chilling. We had the cage, the tiger cage scene with Franklin and Gustavo. I love that. I'm glad they brought that in. Bro, Franklin was so mad. He called Gustavo and he's like, yo, you got to help me set up Teddy. Gustavo said, bro, I got to help my family. I can't do that. Then Franklin breaks his entire desk, and then we just see his wife just kind of like squinting. Like, she don't even look at it, bro. It was so good. Bro, Franklin has some really good acting scenes in season 5. So now we need a new plan. How are we going to get to Teddy? So Franklin calls up Louie. We can trust her. Everything's fine. By the way, I didn't even mention this. Louie decides to go behind Franklin's back and go to the plug, which is Teddy. I don't understand why she did that, bro. I get it. You want to grow your business. You want to expand. You want to split up from Franklin because you don't want to be dependent on him. That's cool. But I was just praising your decisions from the last season. I don't know what happened. Maybe the money or whatever. Because why didn't you just tell Franklin, hey, Franklin, by the way, I'm thinking about going to Teddy. She tells Franklin eventually, though. And then he of course feels like he's betrayed. He's like, bro, fuck this, bro. They have a little argument. That's whatever. They meet up at the end, right? Remember where we left off? This man tells Louie, you need to help me set up Teddy because he's going to do the same thing to you as he did to me. And she's like, nah, I'm not going to do that. I mean, at this point, you probably go to family first because not even like Jerome has nothing to do with this. So she's already putting him into this middle position that he in the same season said, I don't want to be in that. If y'all got some beef going on, that's not me. Franklin gets so angry. I did not think he was going to do that. He pulls out the gun. That's why I thought the body scene, I thought he was going to go back to his normal self where he could be like, oh, I'm more understanding. But now he went back to vengeance and everything. And he's like, I'm about to kill you 10 times over if it means getting my money back. A lot of characters in Snowfall do that where they kind of like overstep. Teddy did the same thing last season when he threatened Franklin with his dad, when he's doing all that other stuff. Then Franklin goes on his Itachi tour, snipes down everybody, like just shoots everybody that Louie is basically in business with, robs her whole place and is out. And I have no idea where he's at. I don't know. This man has killed Louie's business partners. They're about to be at war. I don't know what Jerome is going to do. I hope he doesn't get stuck in the middle of this. Louie's decision this season was garbage, though. That was her idea, by the way, to go behind Franklin's back to go to the plug. I actually really liked her decision to fix things with Scully at the start of the season 5, and then at the end, you just kind of ruined it. I don't know what's about to happen. This is such a crazy setup because Teddy is now at war with Franklin. Franklin doesn't have any friends besides Leon, but Leon did the smartest thing anybody else could have done. He grabbed the woman he loves. He's like, yo, let's just get out of the country and then just live a normal life. And then he told them, everybody in the projects, he told them the whole business thing is about to be changing. Right now in season 5, he was the best character by far. By far. The development, bro. This man, Leon, in season 1 and 2 would have shot down everybody. Everybody. Now he's trying to make smart decisions. He's not trying to, just die for nothing, basically. He's trying to help everybody. And he gave Franklin a book and he said, man, you didn't even read this shit. I cannot wait for season 6. I'll see y'all. Anyway, goodbye.